You're attending a session of the Jacksonville Beach Board of Adjustments. Board of Adjustment meetings are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided at this meeting. Any person who is not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located on the side table by the door and turn them into the board. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause or cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your phones. Can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland.
Here.
Owen Curley.
Here.
Jeff Schular. Jennifer Williams. Here. Matt Metz.
Here.
Laura Tierney.
Here.
Okay, next on our agenda is approval of the minutes for September 17, 2024. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the minutes of September 17th.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, they've been approved. Is there any correspondence? That's it? No. Okay. All right, we'll go right into old business. Oh, okay. You're on our. So, why don't we call the first case under old business?
I call BOA 24-100049, address 211 South 8th Avenue. Request is sections 34-342E3C1 for a front yard setback of 0 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum to allow the replacement and extension of the existing deck in front of property. 34-342E3C2 for a westerly side yard of 7.2 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum. 34-342E3C2 for a corner side yard of 7.1 in lieu of 10 feet minimum. And 34-342E3C3 for a rear yard of 1 foot in lieu of 30 feet minimum. 34-342E3E to address the existing nonconformities to an existing multifamily dwelling.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have ex parte communication?
I've had none.
None.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Please state your name and address.
Damon Starkey. I'm at 113 Overlook Drive, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
No, this variance is really pertaining to a client of mine who bought this property, and all of these things were already currently in place, and really all we're looking to do is just replace the front deck that is in grave disrepair. And upon going through that process, it basically brought up some of these things that were impeding on the setbacks or whatnot. So we're just trying to remedy all those things.
Have you been appointed in writing to represent?
Yes, sir, I have.
Are you working instructions or go?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yeah. Garland is also here too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any questions for the applicant? The deck that's going to be replaced, it's being put back in the same footprint, or is it?
Yes, sir.
updated?
It is.
Okay, if there's no other questions, you can have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
Yep, it's John Blacker.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and do that?
I have one email that we received from Stephen Leadberry, and we received that September 3rd, 2024. It said, I would like to object to the request to reduce setback on 211 South 8th Avenue. We have too little land space as it is in Jacks Beach. And he signed the same address, which is 1301 First Street South, apartment 1207,
care to come forward and address the email? You can come forward and address the email.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Garland Sullivan, 1621 Belmont Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida, 32207.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, which part would you like me to address?
It's up to you if you want to address the brief email that says we have too little land space as it is in Jackson Beach.
I don't really have anything to address aside from that we're not changing the footprint of the actual deck. The posts are going to be holding up the deck up, and those will not be changed.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion? Yeah.
I move to open this for discussion.
Okay.
I-
Sorry. Okay. This is mine.
Oh, I make a motion, sorry, to approve BOA 24-100049. Based on the testimony and evidence provided, the request has met all the standards for variance as outlined in section 34-286 of the Land Development Code.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I think the applicant is clear that this is an existing footprint and it's just existing, or sort of bringing it up to a safety standard. My kind of question you asked directly was that they're not changing the footprint of the deck. Page 24 of the packet showed a 6-foot extension of that deck. So I don't know what we would need to do to sort of confirm that we're approving this variance for the existing footprint. I don't know if there's verbiage around that, just based on testimony provided today versus allowing that 6-foot extension.
We could condition it to the dimensions of the existing deck if we wanted to amend the motion.
That was gonna be my question. It does show that it goes outside of the property line, that's 6 feet. So.
Yeah, there's a note there. That's why, yeah, that was my question too.
Is it possible for me to address this, what you guys are discussing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I don't want to.
Well, the hearing, the public hearing is closed.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead then,
Yeah.
sorry.
So, okay, so we could amend our motion, somebody could amend the motion, move to amend the motion to restrict the deck to its current dimensions.
I would like to move to amend the motion to approve BOA 24-100049 to include the stipulation that the approved variances are contingent upon matching the current footprint of the structure.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on that motion to amend? Okay, so we'll go ahead and vote on amending the motion. Can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, so the motion is now amended so that it's a motion to approve and contingent upon the replacement meeting the existing measurements of the structure and its deck. Any questions on that? Any more discussion? Okay, if there's none, then can we have a roll call on that, please?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes, your request for variance has been approved with that contingency. Okay, can we call the next case, please?
We call BOA 24-100050. Property address 515 North Fifth Avenue. Motion to consider sections 34-337E1C1 for non-conforming front yard setback of 16.3 feet in lieu of 20 feet minimum 34-337E1C3 for a non-conforming rear yard setback of 15.2 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum. 34-337E1D to address current nonconformities for no garage or carport in lieu of required garage or carport. 34-337E1G for an accessory side yard setback of 0 feet in lieu of 5 feet minimum. 34-373A1 for off-street parking spaces of 16.3 feet in depth in lieu of 17 feet minimum. 34-373D for a driveway side yard setback of 0 in lieu of 5 feet minimum. And 34-337-337E1E for 37% lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum for proposed deck and concrete driveway to an existing single-family dwelling.
Okay, so remember, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any expert communication?
I've had none.
None?
None.
None.
And I have none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Evelyn Muyan, 1710 Lopot Lane, Jacksonville, Florida, 32246.
Go ahead.
I'm asking for this because the lot is extremely small. It's less than 3,500 square feet. And it, right now, it has no driveway at all. It's just grass. So I know that it seems like I'm using more land, but just this lot is just so incredibly tiny. And it is an older house. It was built in 1957.
Okay, thank you. Have you talked to your neighbors?
I have talked to one. The other one is never available.
What was their reaction?
They had no objection to it.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, ma'am, you can sit down. I'll now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? Okay, no speakers cards, no correspondence. Is there anyone in the audience who has not filled out a speaker's card that wishes to speak? Okay, I'll now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion.
It's on a different number, but I haven't filled out a card. I came with
Well, while you're waiting, fill out a card if you want to. But if your case hasn't been called yet. Did you want to speak on this case?
No.
Okay. All right, so I'll close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA 24-100050 based on the testimony and evidence provided. The request has met all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-286 of the Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If you have a substandard lot, she's not asking for a block of, she's not grabbing more covers that she absolutely needs. And it's very reasonable request.
Agreed.
Me too.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Lori Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Crowley.
Yes. Your request for variance has been approved. Can we call the next case, please?
The next case has been deferred, 24-10005-1, I believe this one is.
Okay,
Okay.
turn up the track.
Yep. So I call 24-100054, property address 0 South 7th Avenue, 176350-0000. Motion to consider sections 34-337E13 for a rear yard setback of 20.4 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum. 34-337E1E for 43% lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum. For proposed new single-family dwelling to a vacant lot located, well, we already gave that address, so there you go.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Chris Reed, 1822 2nd Street North. So we're looking for, this is a non-conforming lot, which we're requesting a 43% lot coverage and a 28.4 of rear setback in lieu of 30, just due to the size of the lot and being substandard. We're looking to able to accomplish a new build on the property, which in lieu with other ones we've seen, including our primary, was 43% coverage, which we got approved.
There's a letter, an email that was sent, which will be read into the record, but one of the concerns is stormwater drainage into the neighbor's yards. Could you address that?
I mean, we're gonna do everything that we would need to do on the new construction. And the house immediately to the right is very comparable to what overall lot coverage will be. We'll make sure we do everything we need to do in regards to drainage, but it's a vacant lot and it has been for a long time, so I'm sure they're used to being nothing there.
Any other questions?
What's the purpose of the rear yard setback limitation you're requesting to not meet the 30-foot minimum?
Because we have to do a 2-story house, so which is what we're doing over there, so in order to get the right, square footage in the house to make it work for us is, we require that additional rear setback. Because we're adhering to the 20-foot in the front, keeping this, the 15 on the sides, and that just allows us to get the footprint for the house size we build.
And you're going to put in parking strips, not an actual
Correct.
playground, and then your front walk is going to be gravel?
Correct. We feel that's more, I'd rather have the right house than the gravel.
Well, I think that goes to stormwater management, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay, sir, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards?
My name is Gregory Scott, and
Hold on, sir.
Excuse me. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
Gregory Scott, and my address is 630 Ocean Drive, Diamond Beach, Florida, 32266. Received your notice here. This particular property is in my son's name, William Scott. He's a merchant at sea. We're building our new house. We've been living in this house for the last 4 or 5 years. It's my grandfather's house. He built it in 1950. And my wife and I bought it in 1985. We got out of college. This gentleman's property is a good ways down, 3 or 4 lots, but the house directly to my east, they did the same thing. And the challenges are, they did the 20-foot off the fence with a covered porch. That's fine. Then the dentist came in and she paved it all. So to put it in perspective, I have a 75 by 100 foot lot with a 34 by 30 structure, 2-story. My lot coverage, and I have river rock. My lot coverage is 13%. Then they built a new house on 7th with a pool. They took the pavers all the way back. Then a guy from California bought a house on the northwest corner of my house, put a pergola up, paved the whole backyard. I'm taking everybody's water. The lady who's catty-cornered this, Miss Curry, she's very old, and it's here and here. Her home was built before our home in the 40s, and her bedroom butts up to the corner of this. And the problem I've had with the house next to me, she left, she Airbnb'd it. I can barely enjoy my backyard anymore from all the noise. Airbnb, any 3-day weekend, they could have 5, 10, 15 people out there. It really disrupts the neighborhood. And I'm pro-build, I'm a mechanical engineer, I understand it. I understand wanting. But when you buy a lot that's non-conforming, before you buy it, you should know what you're gonna put on it, if you're a developer, engineer, what have you. So, I don't wanna see, I probably have 40 feet between the back of my house and my fence. And my front yard to the road from my gate is almost 50 feet. I mean, like I said, 14% lot coverage, and I'm taking everybody's water. It's getting old. So y'all are gonna have to draw lines somewhere. He says there's a lot next door, and there is, it's owned by the same gentleman. The problem is, he's gonna come up here in front of you in a year or two, and we're gonna be faced with the same thing. And not all that water goes to the street. My neighbor to the east, Pauline, she's a dentist, she has basically a skillion type roof on her porch, and that water goes straight to me. Fortunately, my house is not that big. I have 11-foot setback on the east side. I have a
Sir,
30.
that's been 3 minutes.
Okay.
You can just wrap up your thoughts for us.
I really object to it. Y'all gotta start drawing a line. The impervious and the noise and what it creates, because when they're done with that, they're gonna pave the whole backyard with or without your knowledge. It's just gonna happen. I've got 3 instances that I can point over my fence.
Thank you. Okay, any more speaker cards? Let's see, is anyone in the audience who's not filled out a speaker card that wishes to speak? Okay, why don't we go ahead and read the email?
This was sent on Tuesday, October 1st. I am opposed to the allowance of 20.4 feet rear setback in lieu of 30 feet minimum required setback. I own the property 423 Upper 8th Avenue South behind RE number 176350-1-0000. I requested a setback variance when building my residence. Was told that there would be no variance as there was no hardship. I designed my building to accommodate the required setbacks. Putting a building within 6 steps of the property line fence is approaching 0 lot line standards, which is not wanted in this area. Also, there are no street drains near the property on 7th Avenue South, nor Upper 8th Avenue South. As much land as possible is needed to perk stormwater so it doesn't drain into neighbors' yards. V.R. Steve Leitch.
Okay, would the applicant like to come back and address either the speaker or the email, or both?
So, our very first property we bought for kids is on 5th Street, which I know they're doing a lot of water work, which is very close to this property. So I know that's in the plans of already fixing all the water issues. I mean, we lived in that house for 10 years, we know about it. We're not asking for anything. I mean, I understand the water risk in these older homes. I mean, we bought one that was older, that's our primary, and we had to basically build new because it was so low. That's just the situation on the older homes. We're not asking for anything, above and beyond what I've seen others get, including ourselves on our primary. And this just allows us to build the right house for our family. It's not an Airbnb, it's nothing like that, it's a family home. Not townhouses or anything of that nature. And I know with all the work on the water going on literally as we speak, is going to hopefully solve a lot of those issues in that exact area. So that's really what I have to address on the water issue. Just appreciate it.
Thank you. I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA 24-10005 based on the testimony and evidence provided. The request has met all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-286 of the Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, so moved and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, my primary concern is around the rear yard setback. I recognize the lot is undersized, but from a depth perspective, if you have a minimum width of 75 feet and a 7,500 square foot lot, then the depth is 100 foot. So I'm not seeing sort of a reason other than wanting to be able to put a certain footprint on the lot. And again, that's not in our criteria to kind of consider what the desired use is. It's kind of minimum use. We do see other lots in the area that are able to put a single family home in a 50 by 100 lot. I live on the street. I'm in a 50 by 100 lot. I will say from a water flow perspective on this particular road, it is a hill, so it does flow downhill, and the older homes are catching that water. There's been a lot of new build. Those new builds have to, by code, build up. That's not to say that's anything to do with this home. I think that's the nature of the beast to an extent, but I can kind of appreciate the concerns within the community that if you have a standing home and there is more coverage allotted, that's by nature going to land in people's yards, not in the road, because the homes are below the road that are existing on the space, so it doesn't flow from the home to the road unless you bring in a significant amount of landfill to kind of elevate the property. So I will say that that is an issue on the street, regardless of the work that's being done. But I'm aware of East of Third really to address the water flow issues more than in this specific area. So all that to be said, I recognize it's an undersized lot of a specific condition of a rear yard setback, 10 feet shorter than code. Doesn't resonate with me on the fact that the depth of the lot of 100 feet is consistent with what you'd expect from a standard lot.
I appreciate the applicant's use of the lot, trying to minimize surface coverage with the parking strips for the driveway and the gravel driveway, or the gravel walkway. I would just address the member of the public's comments about usage in the Airbnbs. I know that's a concern of this community, but we have a 6 criteria that we have to go through when we're determining whether or not to grant a variance, and use is not one of ours. I think that's zoning that looks at that, not us. So unfortunately, well, I appreciate your comments and the applicant's comments about use. We just don't consider that here. As far as future variance requests go, that's speculative on our part, and again, we can't really consider that's not part of our criteria, whether or not there'll be future variance requests, but I do appreciate your comments.
The drainage thing?
No, public's done, I just thought I'd give you that courtesy. Okay, any other comments?
I actually have a question or comment for the board, but so number 2 requirement is that the circumstances and conditions do not result from the actions of the applicant. So it's a vacant lot and they would be building on it, which, so they could change the building to comply with the current setbacks. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. So that's exactly how you can read that. Yeah. I would say that the size of the lot sort of dictates, it becomes difficult on what you can build with an undersized lot. And it doesn't appear to me, I know that they're taking 10 feet more than in the backyard approximately than they're allowed to, but I don't see it as an overreach for trying to put a house on an undersized lot.
Stated another way, I think the circumstance that we're speaking to from the applicant's presentation is an undersized lot circumstance, and that's not something that's of their own creation.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Jennifer Williams,
Yes.
John Mullen,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
No.
Laura Tooney,
Yes.
Owen Curling.
Yes. Your request for variance has been approved.
Did I fold it all up?
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. Sorry.
So let's see what's next. Okay, next is our planning department report.
The next meeting will be on October 15th, and we have 3 regular items, and I guess the deferred one's good. No. The deferred one, I think might go on November, because they still need to come up with a design for us. But yeah, that's Yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
it moves like the top of it moves. But the reason why we had to re-advertise it, they put it on the corner lot. The bigger part of the lot is considered the side, and like the smaller side of the lot is considered the front. And we didn't catch the previous variance that made it that way, so we had to make a change it pretty much.
Okay, courtesy of the floor to visitors. Anyone? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second?
Okay, it's moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?